Welcome to Rev'n News. I'm Mike Robledo.
And I'm Clarence Barnes, and on Rev'n News, we cover anything that makes a lot of noise. It really just goes in revs.
Yeah, Rev'n News is all about the performance aftermarket, the manufacturers behind the cars that look amazing and go really fast.
Yeah, and today's a big show, too. You're going to love what's coming up right here on Rev'n News.
Now, we all know that modern engines are controlled by computers, and to modify that computer, you need a power programmer. Now, the guys over at Hypertech have developed a new programmer that not only adds some serious performance, but gives you some really cool tuning options. Let's check it out.
Hypertech's been in the business for a little while. Tell us a little bit about what you're excited about for 2016.
For 2016, we're really excited about our new Max Energy 2.0 programmer. We started shipping this product this year, actually a couple of months ago, and this is a upgraded hardware and software design for our product, so it's like a new face for our Max Energy programmer, which we've had around for several years. And one of the cool features that we've added to this new programmer is the ability to adjust the tire pressure monitoring systems on these late model cars and trucks. A lot of the vehicles are coming from the OE with 70, 80 PSI rated tires, and you put aftermarket tires and wheels on them, and the operating pressures on those tires are lower than what the factory is. So the alarms are going off in the vehicles. So we've added a feature to this programmer to allow the end user to lower the threshold for that pressure setting so that the alarms aren't going off, and make them functional with the aftermarket tires.
One thing I like about Hypertech, there's a lot of people in this space, as you may know. You click around, everybody says, oh, we've got the tune. Well, the kind of cool thing that I've gotten from Hypertech is it looks like when you guys put together a tune, you figure out what the engine or application should be. I mean, you can make anything happen, but you want to be able to drive it and not blow it up, not push it beyond its limits.
That's right. A lot of people, you might even have a warranty on your vehicle still, and you want to make sure that you're not doing something that's gonna hurt your vehicle. We spend a lot of time testing, not just throwing it on the dyno and let's change spark and fuel and make the most power, but we spend a lot of time testing it on the road, making sure that the car drives correctly, and while we're developing the tuning, to make sure that we're not exceeding some parameter that's going to cause an issue with the vehicle. So the long-term effects of the engine are going to be intact, so that the integrity of the vehicle is always going to be there, even if you use our products.
Now, here's what's kind of cool. What some people might not know is that when a car comes off the showroom floor, it has a very generic tune.
Right.
So that tune would also apply, let's say, if you had a Sport Edition. Sometimes that same tune is going to your average everyday, or vice versa.
That's right.
It's nothing really exciting. With Hypertech, you can dial it and you can say, okay, I've got a 6-speed, I've got this type of gas, I've got this. I mean, there's so many parameters. And what I like about this is, let's say you're one of those people, you have to bring your car in for a 30,000 mile checkup or something like that. You get a brand new car. You put this tune on it, you get all this extra, places to find technology, horsepower, acceleration, fuel economy, whatever it may be. Right. But you can go back and you can turn the whole tune back.
That's it. Yeah, you can program it back to stock. So, you can flash the computer back to the factory calibration. So, you take it in for dealership work. You don't know if you're going to have a recall on the vehicle. They might flash over the program that's in your computer. So it makes it easy to do. So we make it easy for you to return the vehicle to stock, so that you can do whatever you need to do with it. You get it back from the dealership and then plug it back in and put your settings back in it.
You guys made it really simple for people like me. One thing I do like also is that when you go to flash it back, you can save your settings now.
That's it. Yeah, the new programmer has a feature in it that you can actually name a tune. We call it a preset tune. So you can name the tuning options that you pick. So let's just say you ran premium fuel, you raised your top speed limiter up, you changed the rev limiter, and you can save those settings. So if you ever have to go back to stock, you can just plug it in and pick that pre-named tune, and you don't have to remember, well, hey, did I raise the rev limiter 200 RPM or 300 RPM?
Mine's
so
called traffic school. I just said it's a traffic school. No, but that's the kind of cool thing. You can adjust shift points, you can adjust rev and
yeah, it's more than just tuning the engine. Some of the other features we have are being able to adjust the engine rev limiter, raise and lower the top speed limiter. Obviously, performance enthusiasts want to raise it. We can also allow you to lower it. So if you've got a teenage driver, you can limit their top speed, or if you own a fleet of vehicles, you want to keep your employees from driving over the speed limit, you can actually lower that top speed limiter there. Another really popular feature, in addition to the engine tuning, is being able to recalibrate the speedometer for larger tires and aftermarket gear ratios. So, a lot of your truck and SUV owners lifting the truck up, putting the bigger tires on it, it throws the speedometer off, throws the shifting off at part throttle. So by recalibrating the speedometer, we can return the shift points to their normal settings, and also make the speedometer and odometer read correctly. So that's one big feature.
Boy, I'll tell you, if you're just getting into tuning, everybody's heard about it, but you know what? When you look into that space, it's like a big hole. You're not quite sure. I think safety, ease of installation and ease of getting around, navigating the software, Hypertech's got to be the way to go. If you want more information, how do people find you on the web?
Go to our website, www.hypertech.com.
Hypertech.com. Check it out today. So you get a new car, and one of the first things you can do to give it just a little bit of a tweak in the performance area is to add a new air filter. There are a lot of people in that space, but this year at SEMA, we found one that sets itself apart. Green filters. Joe's on the floor to find out why. Take a look.
Talk to us a little bit about what makes green filters different, won't you?
Well, we've got some new technology that's surrounded in a filter's made out of three things. You've got your median, which is your rubber that goes around the filter, and you've got your cotton material or media that you use for filtration, and then you have your stainless or steel mesh. And the way we put it together, it's just a little bit of a better mousetrap than what's been available for years. So we just paid attention to detail, and therefore when we put everything together with our new technology, as well as the synthetic oil we use, we seem to have a better package.
So with the different varieties of filters out there, is there something specific that you think you could put your finger on that would make your filters a little bit different than some of the others that are out there in the marketplace currently?
Well, basically, our filters are put together with a four-stage process. There's little or no bleed from the urethane on the ends into the filter material, which just by looking at it, you can see there's 7, 8, 10% better filtration with the amount of area you have.
Got it. Now, this particular easy-to-see example has been something that I've seen over the years, and it's like, really? But it really is probably the most simple way to show the difference in the filters. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Basically, we have the dry flow filter that some people use. We have the regular paper filter that comes in your car from the factory. We have a leader in the industry put here, and we have the green filter. These are all calibrated pretty much the same. You can take the filters and put them across here, and you'll see the difference in airflow. Now, if we take that and change it out, change out a couple of them and see what happens. Basically, you can see the green filter there. One competitor there. No matter where you put it, you're going to come up with the same results.
Mark, how important is air intake and air filters to guys with these high horsepower motors? I've seen these guys now at 800, 1200 horsepower. Of course, we're going to be up to 2,000 horsepower. Yeah. Everybody's worried about camshafts and crankshafts and connecting rods and pistons. What do they have to keep top of mind when we're talking about filters? Can you give these guys a little bit of insight?
Here's what I start out with and said, this is the cheapest horsepower in the building. You can buy cams, you can buy any kind of turbochargers. This is the most inexpensive horsepower you can get in the building. You can get a brand new car and you can put it in and you're going to see a difference.
How much difference are they going to see?
You're going to see anyway in performance about 6% on most cars, about 6% better performance, and about 5 to 6% better on fuel mileage. So you've got something that's great for the kid with a Mustang and great for somebody's mom with a SUV grocery getter. Yeah, right, or a minivan. Because she wants it for a different reason, but it's all about performance here. That's what we're talking about. This is performance. This hall with the performance hall. This show is all about performance.
And Made in USA is also a pretty strong statement, especially when we're talking about something along the lines of a filter.
Right, yeah. And it's one of the first things people buy for, to boot a little improvement and to personalize their car.
Where are you guys going to be going? I know you're really into racing. What do you guys have going on from the racing scene or the event scene coming up in 2016?
Well, we're very proud of our heritage in that business. We won the 24 Hours at Daytona with a green filter five times. I mean, anybody can talk about racing, but when you race flat out for 24 hours, it really separates the men from the boys. And we're going to continue that tradition with some new products and some new teams that are a little bit early to let the cat out of the bag, but it's a major deal.
Thanks so much for sharing some time with us. Mark Rev'n, one of the great guys in this industry.
You know, probably one of the coolest things you can do to a car, you get a car, new or old, is to put a real cool set of wheels on it. Well, up until recently, the choices were somewhat limited by, well, technology and cost. Well, the game has changed. This year at SEMA, we saw some great selections of wheels and real cutting-edge technology. Forged wheels hitting the scene, and now you can say they're affordable. Joe's on the floor with the crew from Forgiato. Let's take a look.
We're in the Wheel and Tire Hall. It's the Lower South Hall, and man, this is where it's at. This is where all the coolest cars are. This is primarily where the wheel and tire guys live. And when you talk about wheel guys, there's one wheel company that's just blowing up this industry. It's Forgiato Wheels. And I got a chance to hook up with Norman, the owner. Norman, congratulations on what has to be one of the more successful SEMA shows for you, huh?
Yes, we think it's the best show we've ever had.
Well, what a statement alone. Best show that he ever had. And how many years you been coming?
11.
All right, so guys, a big thing that's happening within the wheel industry is forged wheels. For all the obvious reason. And one of the guys that's really leading that charge is Norman, again, from Forgiato. What is it about the forged wheel that's making it so popular? And what is it that makes Forgiato such a leader in this segment of the industry, Norman?
Well, when it's forged, the aluminum can be a lot thinner, but still very strong. So it allows you to make very detailed, small cuts that you couldn't do in a cast wheel where they have to have curves, because when it comes out of the mold, it won't come out of the mold if it's too straight. So that's the reason we go to aluminum, and we use aerospace grade aluminum, so that gives us even more strength and lighter. And because it's in pieces, 2-piece, 3-piece wheels, so you're allowed to work on each, the center section and the outer section separately. Then you can even get into more details and more custom finishes. Then when you're done with each piece, you bolt it together.
Got it.
And if you damage your wheel, you can just replace the damaged part instead of having to buy a completely brand new wheel.
So not only does it give us the opportunity to get more detailed in the style and the creativity, it's easier if something happens, unlike the other wheels where if you got a problem with it, it's one and done, right?
Correct.
So as I look around here, I don't know, what are we showing? 20 different style wheels?
Yeah, there are 20, and these are all brand new for this year. Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Can you point them out?
This one, for example, where it looks like it's twisted, it's straight, but because of this section right here, it looks like it's twisted.
And it does.
Yeah.
And now, is that a popular wheel application with the truck guys, or is it?
No, this is high-end luxury exotics, correct.
This style looks reminiscent of something you see rolling off a new Porsche.
Exactly, except we usually this center comes all the way to the end, but on this wheel we brought in a little bit, so it looks like it's kind of popping out of here.
That it does.
Exactly.
How about different color faces? I see them everywhere, from black matte to now.
Right.
In fact, that brown has really picked up a lot. Not only on the exterior of the cars, but now the wheels.
Yeah, so these are matte, and this has that rough finish. They're doing this a lot on the Jeeps.
Yes.
And
boy, there are a lot of Jeeps out here.
Oh yeah, Jeep is crazy. Yeah, so this is now the truck section. Okay. This is a 26 by 16.
Wow. Now, where would this go? Obviously a big truck, right?
Big truck, yeah. But this is serious off-roading. This is 8 millimeters thick.
Yeah, you can feel it.
So it's again forged.
Sure.
And then over here we actually have a Forgiato tire, mud tire, 37
I heard
inch.
about that.
Yeah.
So, and now is this something that's new? The new tire?
This, yeah. Well, we've had Forgiato tires for a while for cars. Okay. But for the trucks, is new. Yeah.
Norman, for guys that are out there, and we're talking to guys that are consumers, our Rev'n audience, when they're thinking about putting wheels on their vehicle, and they've got all these choices, what do you think would be the parting message for them to consider Forgiato?
I can extremely confidently say that our customer service doesn't exist anywhere else. We'll bend over backwards. Sometimes I get a drawing on a napkin, and we'll turn that into a wheel. And just compare a little bit and ask around a little bit, and I'll let you decide which way to go after that.
And if you ask me, I'm going to tell you for Yato. This is Joe from Rev'n TV.
You know, the cool thing about being at SEMA is you get to meet all the people who are in charge of the development, bringing products to marketplace. And when you think about ARP, well, for a lot of people, they just say bolts. It's a lot more than that. And there's a reason they're in the biggest and the very best of competition. Talk to Chris. We found out why.
Hey, I'm at SEMA. I'm here with Chris from ARP. Chris, I know you guys have fasteners and bolts for every engine, every application. Show me some stuff I may not know about ARP.
Well, on this wall over here, we show some of the specials that we make. While we have over 4,500 cataloged items, we make specials every day. You know, whether it's a Daytona Superbike or one of the special engines that we have in the booth, like the Daytona prototypes or the C7R Corvette engines. If we don't have it in the catalog, we can make it.
So these are things that people kind of special order from you? It's just anything that I may run into that I need that doesn't exist, you will make it?
Yes, if it's a fastener related item, we will manufacture a special for you. Sometimes we make one part, or sometimes we make 100,000 pieces for somebody.
Well, I know I run into that complication a lot, so I'm glad to know you guys do that. Now, behind us, there's a couple of what looks to me like maybe a LS1 or crate engines. Can you tell me what you do for that?
Well, they are the C7R Corvette engine that won Daytona, Sebring, and Le Mans this year. And then we have the Ford Daytona prototype engine, which won the 24-hour Rolex.
Wow.
The unique thing about these engines is they are production-based engines, so while they have a lot of modifications and options on them, they do start out with a production block.
So what do you guys have? If I get one of these engines, say I'm a street racer, street rodder, what do I get for that?
Well, we have, on the LS-based engines, we have the heads, mains, rod bolts, and accessory kits. And you can have those in chrome ollie, or we have them in high-strength stainless, as well as custom-made material. For the EcoBoost engine, which is in your Mustangs and some of your trucks now, same thing, head studs, mains, rods, and as well as we have our accessory line of fasteners that you can dress the engine out with.
Nice. So they're not only just function, but actually dress up parts, make your engine look a little cooler?
Correct.
Hey, Chris, I just see you have a new products wall. I'm interested. What's new?
Yeah, on the wall here we have an assortment of items. And some of the things we have is our thread cleaning taps. And I said thread cleaning tap, it's really a thread chaser. And some of them are specialty items with extra long shanks, such as the LS engines or the Ford modular engines. The threads are recessed in the block, you know, a couple inches. So a standard thread cleaning tap will not get down in there. So we've developed or made these specially long shank taps to do that. If you don't clean the threads out, you can't get the proper clamp loaded with the torque.
So this is going to be important to a lot of guys. I mean, that's a big deal right now. The LS1 engines, everybody's doing them. They need to know that they have this. I'm sure guys are running into this problem.
Yes, everybody that buys or rebuilds one of these LS engines should have those taps.
Fantastic. Okay, what else you got here on the wall? I see a lot of other stuff.
Well, another item here is the conversion for the C5 wheel studs. Very common, a C5, C6 suspension in the front of these hot rods. They use a Ford 9-inch rear end in the back, which has a 1/2-inch wheel stud usually, and then they use the C5 hubs, and they have a 12mm stud. So now you got, you know, your lug nuts. You got to get 2 different size lug nuts. You're taking your wheels off to clean them. You know, you put all your nuts in a pile. You might get one on the wrong one and ruin it. So this is a 1/2-inch stud that replaces the C5, a 12mm stud.
All right, well, it was great catching up with you. Nice to see you out here at SEMA. Thanks for talking to us.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Well, Clarence, that wraps up another episode of Rev'n News.
Man, I am revving to go. There's so much to look forward to in future episodes. Wait till you see what we have on deck. It is so exciting to see so many people who are really pushing this aftermarket scene. Performance aftermarket is going crazy, and of course, we'll be there.
The market's always developing new products, and Rev'n News will be there to cover it all.
And if you miss something, you can always find it on RevnTV.com, or you can look for us on Facebook, too.
And if you like us, give us a little like. We appreciate it. You can also check out our YouTube channel. Lots of clips there. Clips from last year, clips from Clarence and I out on the road checking out shows. Even our roving reporter, Sherilyn. There's a lot to see.
It's going to be a great year. You watch what happens.
For Clarence Barnes, I'm Mike Robledo. Thanks for watching.
See you soon.